Do you?
So, Frost Giant Skull? Hello?
Okay, well, we'll skip the time period that it takes for you to go back and get a full-sized frost giant skull.
I thought we took it with us.
From the airship.
From the airship, yeah.
And bring it back.
Just get Brian, go and get it. You just see Brian just dragging this thing along.
Harshnag and Fenswick go and get it, and you bring it back.
Know. I mean, wouldn't my prestidigitation, couldn't I just shrink it for a little bit until we brought it back?
Okay.
No, not with prestidigitation. You could make it taste nice.
It was so useful.
You could clean the foot of it.
Yeah, you could slowly clean it.
Yaghol licks it. Oh, it tastes like bread.
You place the giant skull in the center of the ring, and it vanishes, and the voice booms. You have done a great deed for all giants. A new path lies before you. And this wall extrudes a bas relief of a harsh frost giant with a big braided beard and a mask and horned helmet with 4 twisted horns.
So they're opening it up, and if we were to pick one of them, there will be a foe to capture, I'm assuming.
We're opening paths that we can gain information on and find out where they are.
Okay, so my thing is as I would think is find out what all their names are and figure out what their plans are, what their purpose. Who joined us?
Or did someone go out?
Sounded like someone joined.
Okay, what did I miss?
That's the Queen.
Yeah, sorry, my computer just I had to restart it. It just had a full-on meltdown.
What was the last thing you saw or heard?
The whole thing about the cloud giant being called a countess. That was it.
By the way, question.
You have put the frost giant skull in the center. It disappeared, and there's now a frost giant relief.
We put in the frost giant skull, and it revealed a storm giant.
Frost giant.
Frost giant.
Frost giant.
Okay, so it's just the fight.
Of a frost giant with a braided beard, a masked and horned helmet.
Okay.
We don't know his name yet. It's just a fire giant we have left.
So, what items are relevant?
Well,
what have we got left? We've got the shields.
We've got, of the useless ones, we've got the gold tooth, the broken shield. Well, even then, but we kind of determined we might want to keep the broken shield just in case. The porcelain mask. The porcelain mask judging by the fact that the cloud giant had a mask on,
yes,
that sounds like this is a duplicate of her.
Yeah, it is.
And we already got the frost giant skull, so we got like a gold tooth.
Hang on, how many questions do we have left?
There are 5 lanterns lit.
You could try the gold tooth.
Yeah, I was going to say gold tooth.
And we only know Gur and Kylith and Spencer.
Names wise, we know Thane Kylithica, Countess Sensori, Chief Gur, and then we don't know the Frost Giant Lord's name.
I point to the Frost Giants, like, who is this one?
Is Jarl Storvold your chosen foe?
Jarl Storvold.
Hold that thought!
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. We don't want to...
I think we try and get rid of the gold tooth. Because that is the one that is completely fucking...
Pretty much, all 4 of them... Alright, so 4 of them's been out, so...
Yeah, put the gold tooth there!
Gold tooth there!
You place the gold tooth in the mithril ring and it vanishes. And the voice booms. You have done a great deed for all giants. A new path lies before you.
Yay!
And the final wall extrudes a bas relief of a fire giant who looks like something that I will tell you.
Hi, Sean, you are my husband now.
Right, so okay if I ask.
A stern-looking fire giant with his arms crossed and a big beard and a helmet that looks like flames along the top.
I have 5 questions I want to ask.
Well, first
But
of
the
all,
problem is, I'm going to let you guys, because I've got some ideas I want to know.
Well, first of all, I step in and I go, who's that one?
Pointing at the fire giant.
Pointing at the fire giant.
Is Duke Zalto your chosen foe?
Ooh, nice name.
That's a pretty cool name.
Okay, my question
So now
is...
we have 5 questions to find out things about these people.
Okay, so maybe we either do all 5 questions of I ask them individually, or try and get all one of it, like get one question out of all of it. You know what I mean?
I take it that the one that we face is. What does that mean? So as soon as we face one of them, does that mean what?
Well, from what I understand, judging purely by what the Oracle has said,
Mm-hmm.
we've asked a question. He's asked if that is the one we choose. I think we can choose one of these.
Right.
Okay. Can I ask one question to the? Is it possible you could tell me each of the 5 plans these giant lords have? What are these plans of these 5 giant lords? Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
What
Say
are
again?
what are each of these lords' plans?
Yeah. What are these
One
lords'
question
plans?
for 5
Lord,
answers.
That's a good idea because it's plural as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you step
Right,
into the
right.
circle and ask.
Yes.
Gar wishes to become the biggest giant the world has ever seen.
Doing pretty good on that.
Kealifika's plan is to obliterate the works of the surface worlders.
Oh boy.
Storvold wishes to bring the age of everlasting ice. Zalto wishes to rebuild a dragon-slaying colossus.
Oh.
A dragon slaying what?
Colossus.
A colossus?
Wow.
Quick, hide Kalen.
Sansuri seeks to find a lost trove of dragon magic.
And Caitlin's is perks up from one.
Yeah.
That's not so bad.
The fire one sounds very.
Right, so
Okay.
we've got the choice out of putting a giant on a diet.
I don't know. I think the one who wants to destroy all surface life is probably the one we need to stop.
That sounds much more concerning. Yes.
Well,
I mean, it sounds
well,
like we might all be screwed.
bringing an age of everlasting ice isn't sounding too fantastic.
Well, at least someone could turn into.
Oh,
a frost
and
giant.
one of the lanterns goes out.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 4 left.
4
Yeah.
lights still lit.
Okay.
Do we want to find out their power level, or which one the weakest is?
No, I would say another one is
What do they
so
fear?
do we all know about the Storm King Giant? Is it we're looking for the Storm King Giant of the magic conjure of the Storm King Giants, right?
Admittedly, Storm is the only one not revealed here. So it's like they're the only ones not trying to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Where my question is, do we know we know the name of the Storm King or something? Did the Oracle said that before?
He would have said, find a magic conch of the storm giant king Hecaton. Use it to visit Hecaton's court, root out the evil therein.
So there's something stopping Hecaton, or like preventing him from sorting this shit out, maybe?
Within kind of gives me the idea that it's some sort of weird.
So
a
what's up
pretty
with-
decent game with a pretty awesome sequel. It sounds like Hecaton is somehow being misled or being stopped.
Well, that's a
Tanny, you were just
God.
about to say a question.
My question is, what's up with storm giants?
A lantern goes out. The storm giant court is in chaos following the disappearance of King Hecaton.
Oh.
Okay.
So there is no king at the moment.
3 lanterns are
they
still
all,
lit.
Are they all wanting to become king?
No.
I think that's the. I think because we've been
Yeah.
explaining the Ordning before, is that it was like a caste system that the storm giants were on top
Yes.
and everyone was kind of below. So I'm assuming with the Ordning broken, these giants are trying to vie for power to try and become the top now.
That's
So
a fair
they're all
assessment,
basically
yes.
they're battling each other, aren't
They're battling each other and trying to just make their own plans to try and win favor with their gods, maybe?
Yeah, that's
Sounds
pretty
like
much
it.
what you assume.
Snag,
Yes.
what kind of a giant are you?
That's racist.
No, I legitimately can't remember what kind of giant he is.
Frost.
He is a frost
It's
giant.
Frost.
How much do you know about yourself?
I know a great deal about myself.
Can you tell us a little bit about your life?
I don't like to
Just
talk
humor me.
about it.
Sits on the massive sofa.
Just humor me.
So we've got 4
Give me
more
some
left,
sort
right?
of
3 more.
detail from your childhood that you might not even usually think about.
Oh,
Not something really obvious like you used to go fishing with dear old dad, but something random like you fell and scraped your knee once while trying to climb a giant tree.
Why?
I also have that question.
Just humor me. I have a theory and I'm trying to see if it's right.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't really like to talk about my past that much.
Is it because you don't know much about your past, or
No,
is
it's
it
just
because
It's
it
not
was
that
dreadfully
important.
horrifying? Isn't it? Are you sure?
It's probably the fact that
If it's
you
not
met you
important,
fight ago.
if it's not important, then it shouldn't talk about.
Any of you that have
Um,
been in Waterdeep would know that Harshnag is remembered as a member of the Force Grey,
I think I remember actually talking about that.
which is a notoriously destructive adventuring company that came to the city's defence on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
Member of Force Grey.
So, Luna, you said about that the guy's been misled or something. Did you say that right? Something to do with
I
what's happened.
thought, but apparently he's disappeared. So
Okay.
I just think it's interesting that this giant guy who's in charge has disappeared, but then there's just like this random giant dude here who doesn't want to talk about his past, who we might not necessarily know a lot about, who wants us to like solve all these issues. Like, are we sure that
I may be able to clear this up a little bit. When we met him, he helped us kill multiple frost giants.
I killed his frost
Exactly.
giants. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
He just wants to get things back to normal because he doesn't agree with what the frost giants are doing.
I don't agree with what any of the giants are doing,
so
really.
I have.
exactly. See,
Neither
this
do I.
This is my point. How do we know that this Storm King giant hasn't been transformed into a completely different giant through really weird magical means, because we are in a magical world, and now he believes that he's this Harshnag guy and believes he's an ice giant, because who would suspect that the king of the giants has been turned into a whole nother giant who thinks his life was completely something
Step
else?
into the ring.
This is the point I'm getting at.
Okay.
Unknown! And a light goes out.
Did you?
Bullshit!
Bullshit.
What was the question you just asked?
I just asked where he was. If he'd been turned into anything, he'd still be identified as himself.
How can?
Necessarily.
All right.
If he has no memory and no knowledge of who or what he was.
He does have memory. He just told you he doesn't want to tell you.
No, he
You
could have
might
said-
have
you could have said he was in the-
construct memories.
But if I have
Like-
constructed memories, what would be the point of me telling you?
Because constructed memories are only going to be built around key events. You're just going to have gaps and things where minor details aren't important. Because any decent spellcaster isn't going to bother wasting time on the little details when they're trying to hide someone and they need to do it quickly. So
And
if
there's a
you
much-
have
If they wanted to hide King Hecaton, there's a much easier way of turning him into a giant, reconstructing his memories, and making him help us.
Look,
not necessarily
Sorry, just can everybody please breathe for 2 seconds?
Alright. Okay.
Okay, let me put it this way. You're
How
going
can
to
we find Hecaton and
Wait,
what's actually happened to
finish.
him?
Oh, never mind.
Okay, can stop talking over each other for a start.
Yeah, I quit. I
Kaelin,
quit. I can quit.
what's your question?
I want to see what actually happened to him.
He was misled by his eldest daughters, Mirren and Nim, who covet his throne. And a light goes out.
Boy. Okay, I've got one more left. Luna, do you want to say anything?
Done. I'm done.
I don't want to say anything either. I'm leaving it to you guys.
Is there any way we can find him?
Speak to Sarissa, his youngest daughter. She has a clue to her father's whereabouts and she needs your help. And the final light in the room goes out.
Right. Does anything happen when the lights all go out?
The only light in the room now is the portal.
We just pretty much have to like wait for the next day.
Or we choose who we're going after.
I would say we can choose who we're going after.
Hmm.
It's all point at one each.
Well, you know that hill giant, right? We can probably go for Chief Gur for now.
Was that the fat one?
That's the fat one, yeah. But that's the less concerning because their goal is to become the biggest giant, which is not exactly the concerning one.
No.
I would say the
Panzer.
one to destroy all lands is the
The one
main
trying to
one that
dis-
we need to kill.
Yeah, the one trying to destroy everything, the one trying to bring everlasting winter, the one trying to get dragon magic. We don't know what that entails. Big bad, it could be good. And the one trying to make a colossus. Once again, we don't know really what that is. It could be something
I-
relative. Yeah.
Can I make an Arcana check to know how to learn about dragon magic? I mean, I am would it be anywhere I can do Arcana check about dragon magic?
You can do an Arcana check about magic.
Okay. 19.
Which one is it? This one. You know that the dragons are magical beings and that a lot of magic comes from them, spells and artifacts that have been forged by the greatest of the dragons. You know that the dragons and the giants are rivals and have been rivals pretty much forever.
Okay. Okay.
you suspect that if she is trying to collect dragon magic, she will be trying to use that to bring the other giants, sort of to gain enough power to bring the other giants under her control in some way.
Alright then. Alright. Okay, and this is Grace. Alright. That's something that's something just to keep aside on the thing. But I do think we should check out Kaelithka's and Storvald's situation. And hoping to find the daughter of Stormgate, the Hectacon's thingy.
We need to get to the court to be able to find her, to ask her questions. So we need to fight. We need to get the conch off one of these guys first, I think.
Well, the question is where would I find her? But I don't think we've got enough time for that now.
It is early evening now, so you've got a few hours to wait till midnight.
If anything, we should probably go to. I think we should go off and go to a certain nearest village or something, and just get ourselves sorted out, and then come back again for information. If not, we can start, or we could just just wing it and find out other information. What do you say?
I don't feel we need to go away. We just need to think about who we want to face.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only choice we have to make here at the moment.
But when we say hypothetically we battle this giant, and then what will happen next? Do we have to face the others?
I mean, if we can find out the location, all of them, we could try and question all of them.
We could, if they let us question them.
Or
Some of them might not even want to fight us.
Or at the very least, we can, if we have to hunt them or kill them or whatever, then we can find out stuff from their lairs, surely.
Did we ask about the conch as much? How much do we know about the conch so
I
far?
think just know that each one of them has a conch that lets them into Hecaton's court.
Okay. If anything, as long if one of them has it, then I think we should be okay at trying to get it to one. Okay, so which one do you think? I would think that the Storvald one is actually quite concerning for me.
Everlasting Winter would be pretty chilly.
Yeah. It could easily cause a little bit of a damage.
But admittedly, they don't really know where this... Because when we were in Bryn Chandar, they were looking for this Simba guy. I think they think that the means for what they have is in this Simba guy. But no one knows where he is, not even his son. So I don't know how close they are to their goal. But at the same time, I think Everlasting Winter is the biggest concern.
We should really sort that one out, I think, and then just work through what seem to be the more concerning ones as well. So we should work on Storvald's situation.
I think Storvald is the most pressing.
And I think afterwards, I think we should go for Kaelithka as well afterwards.
If we can manage to get each of them, that'd be great. But
We don't.
but so I think she is next on the list if we work our way through.
Salto and Sansuri are kind of concerning because dragons involved in Dragon Slaying. Rebuilding a Dragon Slaying Colossus sounds. Well, it's not. Well, if anything, it's not concerning about the world. It's mostly just concerning about dragons.
That makes it sound like his plan is to try and bring a war to dragons.
Giants, the giants and the dragons have been in that war for a century.
So I don't think
Yes.
I don't think the fire giant's concern is with humans and
No, it's with
too much.
dragons.
I think
But
it's,
it will, yeah. I think it's because it also just causes a destruction to the environment of just the world itself, though.
Yeah,
It will
But I
cause
think-
a destruction.
but I'm thinking Storvald is
Stormhouse next.
most
Okay.
concerning.
Right, so
Might as well keep going as we've been going and fuck up some more frost giants. No offense, Harshnag.
None taken.
okay. But before that, I think we should sort ourselves out. If we're like already losing some food or something, I think we should just go to the nearest village and then come back. Go on away. Do we have to come here and open up a path, or
We have to ask. We have to pick our thing before.
yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go and pick it. We
You could do the honours.
possible. I could just point stuff out and say we'd like to choose this guy, please.
Is Jarl Storvald your chosen foe?
Yes. Yes, everybody. Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Travel west over mountains to the sea of moving ice. There, among the glaciers, you'll find Svardborg, the burg of the frost giant Jarl. The conch you seek rests on his icy throne.
Oh,
Well, at
what
least
was
it
it?
shows-
And suddenly, you all know the shortest, most direct route to the lair of Jarl Storvald.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well,
Guys, I just got an objective. It's been located on my map.
yeah, I can see it on my HUD. It's weird.
What's going on?
So,
Should we go then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
as an experiment, kind of just goes that one and points at Chief Gar. Why not?
I'm sure we can pick 2 or more. I'd quite interested to be able to.
It's just an experiment that
Yeah.
Rick wishes to do. If he gets no answer and no response, then we know that we picked our one.
Yeah. Karen kind of understands that.
I'm just gonna sit on the sofa.
That's a dead body.
I'm assuming I get no answer from my pointing, and I want to go after that one.
Your chosen foe has been chosen.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough, Mr. Oracle Man.
Right.
See you again.
If you wish to know more, you shall have to wait until after midnight.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we
Let's
start,
go.
mate? Let's go. Let's go. Adventure! You just get young holes. Like, ah!
Adventure.
Little dwarf legs just start running.
Wait for me! Ah!
Adventure,
Wait,
says
jump on my
Talon.
back.
Where are you?
I'm over here. I'm in
Oh,
the
there you
main.
Okay,
you ready?
I literally just take a running jump and like land on
Okay,
your
go.
back.
Wee! Little legs.
Oh, there you are.
Ah!
My
So I run out of breath.
Onward, Silver!
lagging to all hell with this map.
Wee!
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Woo! Oh, I ran ahead of you.
We're on a race now. Let's go.
Oh, God.
I beat you.
Oh, no, you didn't. I beat you.
Yes, I beat you. Yes. Oh,
Bullshit.
Lathander was on my side.
Oh, Lathander Schmamander.
Well, I'll let you
Flashback.
win then. There is a prize. There is a prize for the winner, Briar.
Yay!
Do you know what you win?
What do I win?
This sorcerer's ale.
God damn it!
You know what? Fuck it, yeah.
No!
Not another one.
Do you
Is
want
she
me to do another one?
John, can I have another one?
Give me 1 second.
One.
One.
Come here.
Jeez. Looking at your... if you look at a map when you get back to the airship and sort of work out along the lines of paths and how you're going to get to where you're going,
Yeah.
There is one settlement between where you are and Svardborg.
Oh, good.
Let's go to the settlement.
Do you want to know what the settlement is?
What
Yeah,
is
go
the
check.
settlement?
Is it by any chance a one that we visited before?
It's Bryn Shandar.
Yes.
Yay!
Bring Shandar. Why did they do
Bryn Shandar was where they met Luz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's go.
That was over a year ago. Holy shit.
That was.
I don't think I've ever been to
You guys.
Brandishar.
Okay. While you're on your way to Bryn Shandar, that will take an amount of time I'll work out in a minute because I want to do this first. Briar,
Yeah?
roll me a D100.
Oh.
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 Oh no.
Oh.
Some people know what this result means.
Is it that you roll another few times, isn't it?
This is that you roll for the next minute.
How many times do I roll?
That would be 10.
10 times. Okay. Roll. Okay, D100 10 times. So 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. So that's 3.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
We're rolling.
So
Oh, my leg's still dead.
the first result,
Yeah?
you guys are just getting back onto the airship, and Briar takes another sip and disappears.
Oh, bye.
Yeah.
Briar, you are looking out onto the airship, but the sky behind the airship is grey, and there are wispy lines coming up off of the surfaces and off of your friends, and you can slightly hear them, but it's kind of like they're talking through their hands and just like slightly muffled.
Okay.
Interesting. We got Lord of the Rings here, guys. This is the Lord of the Rings.
Well, Romad will probably recognise this kind of landscape.
Shit. He does.
And then suddenly you just reappear.
He just went to the. What was the plane again? What was that plane she went? Just the
Ethereal plane.
Ethereal plane.
That was an experience.
Next.
Where did you go?
To a grey place?
And then nothing happens on the next one.
Okay.
But on the one after that, you start to float just slightly off of the ground.
Oh, not again.
Like grabs onto a leg.
I don't know why, but I feel like I'm singing out "Do Your Best."
Oh, why does this always happen?
Because you keep drinking this.
So that's
Drinking stuff.
3. Could you roll again?
Yep. Okay.
I'm just gonna go up to Yakol. I'm just gonna smack
51.
the back of the head.
But she won the race. She gets a prize.
There is
I can see.
a shimmer, and a shield just appears in front of you.
Woo! Mine.
Something shimmer. Ooh.
The shimmer shield, right?
As in a actual shield?
As
Or
in the shape of a shield.
Oh, okay.
Is it like?
It's a spectral shield that hovers around you.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's gonna stay
You're
for long.
welcome.
Sure.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Briar.
Yeah, thanks.
And roll again, please.
So.
Let's just say that Yakko was watching your back.
22.
Nothing happens.
Oh, good. What number are we on now?
That's 5.
So
5 more.
4 to go.
Um,
What is all this air for?
Suddenly you're over here.
What the
I can't even see on the map. My map's gone.
I moved to the stairs.
Can you roll again, please?
I don't like this anymore.
You chose to.
47.
Oh.
Oh, fuck!
Oh.
No!
There is
Uh,
a shimmer in the air at the top of the stairs behind you, Briar.
Yeah?
And there's just a sparkle and a ringing sound. And a unicorn appears in its full majesty with its horn shining and glitter falling from its body.
Oh my god, they're real!
And it just... it stands at the top of the stairs, clicking its front hoof. And just as suddenly as it appears, you appear over here.
I shall call it Sparkle Pants!
wait, this is from the Sorcerer's Ale.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's well, fucking
No,
well done.
let me go back to it! I want to go back to my unicorn! I shall call it Sparkle Pants, and it is now mine.
It's gonna disappear.
And can you roll again, please?
Hey, Luna, is this like your long-lost cousin or something?
Possibly.
Possibly. I can see Luna just giving me evils. This Sorcerer's
What?
Roll a d10.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
D10. 9.
Edges forward.
Oh.
God damn it, John.
Your age changes by a number of years equal to that you just rolled.
A number of years on that roll.
If the roll is odd, you get younger.
Oh!
No, 9 years younger.
I am 6 years old now!
Is there any way that you can change it?
Why is everything suddenly bigger?
Oh, Brian, you just got so cute.
Oh my god!
Can I pick Briar up, please, and just throw her in your air like
Am I
you
like
do
the
with a
same
6-year-old?
size as him now?
You're the same size as me. Fuck off.
He picks you up and throws you in the air, and then suddenly you're over here.
Oh, who's a good little Briar?
And I should teleport over.
Uh,
Oh.
Oh no!
can you roll again, please?
No, I don't want to roll again!
You've got 2 more.
Okay, 40.
You feel healthier.
Okay. For once.
You would have regained hit points, but you haven't lost any.
Alright.
One final one.
84.
Okay. Wonderful.
Oh boy.
No. Oh no!
Oh boy.
30 feet. Who's that?
What?
Everybody!
What?
Wait, what?
Yep, everyone within 30 feet. That is every single person on this ship.
What happens?
Everybody, except for Briar, takes 8 points of damage.
Ow! Whoa!
How does that even...
As
Ow.
a pulse of necrotic energy bursts out of
Oh shit.
Briar and then slams back into her. And she would feel that much healthier, but again, she hasn't actually taken any damage at the moment.
Do I think
Wait.
you've fallen off or I'm okay at the moment?
Wait, what's that concentration check for?
It's
Ignore
some
that.
reason it thinks I'm concentrating on a spell when I'm not.
Mm.
I was gonna say. is it-
Right. Question.
Yes.
Is the unicorn still there?
About 30 more seconds, yes.
Runs over to the unicorn, hugs its leg.
And you disappear and reappear 20 feet away.
Oh, fuck off!
So we've got a pet unicorn, but we can't go near it.
Sparkle pants and he's mine.
Well,
Where is the unicorn? I cannot see the unicorn.
He's by these stairs.
And he evaporates away.
Uh,
Oh no!
we'll get you a new unicorn.
Yaghole just looks at Brian, feels really bad because I feel like this is my fault.
I mean, it should be pointed out at the moment that Briar is still floating off of the ground.
Grabs her ankle.
Quick, grab her!
I grabbed her ankle.
And will be
holding her like a balloon.
will be for the next 10 minutes or so.
Quick, someone tie her to the stern.
I tie a rope around her waist and just hold her like a balloon.
I'm not a bloody balloon.
Shut up, balloon.
Mind your language, young lady.
She's 6 years old.
I'm fucking 6 years old. I don't know what to do. This is just gonna make her death even more sad.
So the book
This drink
doesn't
is awesome. I want more of this.
the book doesn't say that you ever de-age. Like that's not a temporary effect.
Okay.
Oh no! You're forever.
Are you kidding me?
Well, there, you've got a dying 6-year-old on your hands now.
Wait, hang on. Don't we have that ring that ages you?
Oh,
You got
the bracelet thing.
The
bracelet.
wristband.
Yeah. Can't we give that to Briar?
Would you like me to use the wristband?
She's so cute. She's never that.
I feel, as adorable as you are this age, I feel you may be a bit weaker and more prone to accidents.
Well, admittedly, this longbow is very big now. I think I might drop it by accident.
Exactly.
Okay, I will put the wristband on, although my wrist is very tiny now, so it might fall off.
I can see Briar just like
Talon is struck dumb by cuteness.
I can see Briar just walking over and then falling over and going do a thump sound like you're falling over, Briar.
Oh, why?
Like a
Okay, I use the wristband then to go back to 15. Well, that was experience.
How's it like to be a 6-year-old? Jeez.
Still holding you like a balloon.
I mean, I've already been a 6-year-old before, so I guess it felt the same as it did back then. Although
I can't remember what it's like to be 6. So long.
Although I was a lot chubbier than when I was 6, but then again, I could eat then.
I have not remembered. I'm 6 years old. No. Yeah, no.
So, I'm
John,
guessing there's no point. I'm guessing there's no point in trying to reverse the whole age thing.
John, do I have any more of this sorcerer's ale? Is that it?
I'll give you one more.
Oh, fuck me.
I would suggest not giving it to Briar.
Yeah, fuck. Just do it to yourself.
Oh, do I? drink
Do
some of this
it!
stuff? I'm looking at it going, oh, well, if all this magic, all this stuff happened,
Please don't.
how long have we got? How long have we
There's
got
gonna
until?
march over, shove everyone out of the way, down it before he can give it to Briar again.
I wasn't giving it to Briar.
Too bad. Too drank it now.
No,
Doesn't
drunk
fucking trust you.
Wait,
Luna.
Are you trying to take it off of me?
Yep.
No.
Nothing for it.
Oh no,
She
yeah.
can't take it off of me. No,
Um,
she can't take it off of me.
strength checks, both of you.
Yeah, I was gonna say your strength check is this.
I shall be right back.
Take care.
Oh god! I can't believe
Wait,
that
what-
just happened.
What'd you get? 11?
She got 11, yeah.
Right, hang on. I'm having a bit of a crisis here. Where is
Okay,
it?
so
Where
how's everyone?
Pretty good.
This is this gives us something to do, don't it?
6.
She grabs the sorcerer's ale and she downs it.
Down
Beaten
the
by a
hatch.
woman.
1D,
Ooh, sexist.
1D,
Beaten by an elf.
1d100, please.
I'm a human.
Oh, human, whatever,
Yeah.
unicorn.
Pretty sure.
I wanted to drink that.
I'm a human.
1d100, please.
There you go.
50. Oh no.
Luna,
Mhm.
you open your mouth to say to Yaghol that you are a human, and instead of words, pink bubbles float from your mouth.
Aw.
So every time Luna talks, just bubbles come out instead of words.
Yes.
I pop the bubbles.
What did you say?
She opens her mouth and bubbles come out.
Blub,
That's
blub,
cute.
blub.
Is
Blub,
that
blub, blub, blub.
is that a
Ah.
unicorn effect?
And bubbles
Luna,
come
this
out.
is probably the first time I've heard you quiet. Sorry to burst your bubble. You should have taken my drink.
That's enough. Jeez.
And for the next minute, whenever Luna tries to speak, she opens her mouth and pink bubbles come out.
That's what you get for shooting me with magic.
Blah, 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 blah,
What a
blah.
Uh,
Oh, this
what a
is brilliant.
shame.
For shame.
Oh, do you know what? I really fancy a bubble bath. But I don't have any
All
bubbles.
the freaking
I don't have any
puns.
bubbles. Luna, come and be my bubbles.
I'm just popping them in the sky.
I can feel like that, Luna. is gonna be- She's trying to
Yes, she
swear
does.
at me as much as she can, but
one
all these bubbles
moment.
are just coming out.
You can't cast that spell because it's got a verbal component.
Gutted. Are you trying to kill me again?
Fuck it. Hold on.
Don't try and kill me. I'm on 36 health.
You can survive it.
Does a 16 hit your armor class?
What, mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
My armor class is 12.
Oh no.
She whacked you over the head
Yes.
with her quarterstaff. You take 5 points of damage.
I take 5 damage.
Yes.
Ow!
Luckily, quarterstaff does not have a verbal component.
Ow, that was my head, Luna. That really hurts.
Bubble, bubble,
Didn't know
bubble,
the
Bubble.
word
bubble.
was in this.
I hope you feel better about yourself.
Nods.
Bubble, bubble, bubble.
She nods and bubbles. You guys set a course for Bryn Shandar. And it will take you just over a day and a half to get there.
Okay.
Good. That means we can heal.
So you can
Rest.
you can all take a nice long rest.
Thank you.
Um,
Oh god. That was an experience and a half.
Briar, you
no.
nailed that 6-year-old voice.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Do I need to make a con save?
Yes, please.
13.
You are okay this evening.
Oh fuck! That hasn't happened
Holy
in a
shit.
while. Do I have a dream?
You do have a dream. I can't remember what the next one was meant to be. Oh yes, I do. Doop-a-doo.
Secret room?
Yes.
Let's go!
If I remember to press the buttons in the right order. There we go. Briar, you wake up in the middle of your rest. And you are sat in a field of lava.
Oh! Am I on the lava?
You are stood on a field of lava. And it doesn't hurt.
Alright.
And you look up and you see creatures made of fire and tornadoes of flame. I say walking, but they're not really walking, they're moving. And you look around and you see white stuff falling from the sky. And just as it hits the ground, as it hits this lava ground, it just and instantly evaporates. But you stand up and you look round, and just more and more snow falls from the sky of this plane of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly it stops evaporating off of the ice. Stops evaporating off of the lava, and the lava starts to freeze over.
Yeah.
And slowly you are encased in frost on a plane of fire.
Okay. Okay.
And then you wake up.
Nice.
We have arrived.
Nice.
And you now have a day on the airship. So is there anything you guys want to do?
Yeah, I think I can just probably snooze all day.
I don't know. There's nothing much I can do.
Let's just skip it to the area.
And so you skip forward a day and a half, and in the middle of the next day... Oh, actually, Briar, can you make me another Constitution saving throw, please?
18.
You pass again.
Yay!
I didn't prepare another dream, so just you have the same one again.
Well, that's good then.
And about midday on the next day, Bryn Shandar arrives on the horizon.
It is fucking cold.
I return.
Land ho.
Hey, y'all.
Or
Hey.
town ho.
What did I miss?
We're Briar survived her 2 con saves. She had the same dream twice, and now we're at Bryn Shandar.
Well, unless Fenthwick, was there anything you wanted to do in the day? Like you had a day travelling on the airship.
No, he wouldn't.
Okay. You spend the day travelling in quiet. You all just kind of get on with your stuff. Talon busies himself with paperwork, and about the midday the next day, you see Bryn Shandar on the horizon, and you pilot the airship in to land.
This fucking place again.
Have you been here?
Yes.
And?
We were here and it got besieged by frost giants.
Oh, fun! Well, I can shoot them if they turn up again.
Kind of makes sense now, since apparently this is near Storvold, that place
Yeah.
that it is.
I'm curious to see which characters are on this map, if any are still here.
No. I mean,
Yeah,
there was that... There was that one token that was copied. do you remember when that token of Duvesta was, like, copied and was just off the edge of the map?
And there it shall remain.
Forever. Well, the
I
remains of...
wonder if my ice magic works against ice giants.
Yeah, are there all the people who were frozen last time we couldn't unfreeze them still?
They've managed to clear that away in the couple of months that you've been gone.
I would have hoped they probably repaired the gate that got knocked down and all.
Yeah, repairs have been finished.
This
Where
is
are
a
we?
big place. We're at Bryn Shandar.
Yeah, but on the map, are we?
Oh, yeah. We're not on the map.
You're not on this map. This is a big map of the city to give you some idea of where Bryn Shandar is,
And what
it looks like.
Makes me feel like I'm in Attack on Titans for some reason.
It's a little bit.
Well, last time we were here, it was basically Attack on Titan.
He's not wrong.
So Bryn Shandar is the largest of 10 settlements known collectively as 10 towns located in the frigid heart of Icewind Dale. this is a good town for you to stop at and resupply from. But it will take a few days for them to load stock onto your ship. So you've got a couple of days of downtime if you want to spend them in Bryn Shandar doing things.
Sweet you are.
And apparently you are vaguely here.
I just, yeah. I feel like I'd like to go to there must be a marketplace here.
There is a market
Oh.
here.
I don't know.
I have an idea. Why don't you go back to Black Iron Blades? It was such a great shop.
What's Black Iron Blades?
That's a long story.
It's a blacksmith that sells shit.
Yeah, basically, if you want a discount, they'll give you a discount, but you have to promote Black Iron Blades every time you use their product.
Talon
Interesting.
pipes up saying, I thought they were quite good.
The rapier you bought broke.
In combat.
It worked quite well until then.
I love this version of Talon.
Guys, look, there's Briar. It's usually the tiny one.
I'm going to go buy some magical jewelry because I can. Because I'm rich.
Am I right
Luna.
in remembering there were fight pits here?
There are fight pits here.
Luna, do you think I should have some jewelry?
That's a point. Isn't this where Bob came to consciousness?
Yes. This is where the party not only met Luz, but also met Bob. Well, not met Bob. You met Bob just outside, but Bob woke up in here.
Aww.
Only seems fitting.
Nobody knows is that Bob's cheerleading was so popular in the fight pits that they now sell custom Bob plushies.
Oh.
And Bob hats.
And you could buy them on this site here.
www.bobthechicken.com. Bob the Doom Chicken.
I will go to said fight pits.
Are you looking to participate, or are you looking to...
I will participate just for the fuck of it.
Wait, what's this participation?
Question: is there an age limit?
Probably.
They probably won't let in a 15-year-old girl.
I age myself to 20.
Oh god.
In fact, actually, I have disguise self, don't I?
Do you?
I do.
Then you do.
You make yourself include da 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 da. Okay.
She just makes her boobies bigger.
Yeah, pretty much. And how long does this last for? An
An hour.
The fight's not going to last for over an hour, is it?
You might have to like reapply it between fights.
Yeah. Well, I've got 4 spell slots, so fuck it. Yeah, I cast disguise self.
And so you look to be about 20 years old.
Yeah.
Do you stay? What? Describe 20-year-old Briar to us.
She is about the same height because she knows that, the illusion can be a bit fucked if I change the height. But she looks a little older in the face. Her boobs are a bit bigger, yes. She adds a tiny little bit of muscle to her arms. And that's about it.
Okay.
So yeah, she goes.
Sorry, I'm just reading the rules for fight pit fighting.
Fight Club!
You're not supposed to talk about that.
Yeah, hey, you're not supposed to
That's
talk
the first rule.
Slap Briar in the face.
Darn it.
Someone take over from her. Can't we all partake in this tournament?
If you wish.
You can.
You can.
Yeah. Okay then. I'll join.
So Briar first will do. Can you make me an athletics check?
That I can. Give me 2 seconds. 21.
Okay, and then can you make me an acrobatics check?
Oh shit. 18.
Okay. And can you make me a... What's the last one? Can you just roll me whatever your hit dice is?
What do you mean?
What is Briar's?
I've got 9. I think mine's a D.
It'll be a D8 for a
8?
ranger.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
So just roll me 1d8.
3.
Make me a constitution check plus 3.
Okay. Oh shit.
I was wrong. It's a D10, Rangers.
Oh well, still 3.
So you succeed. You fight in 3 fights, and each of your opponents falls before the might of Briar, or whatever pseudonym you go under.
Yeah, Briar. I genuinely did not think that would work.
All 3 of your opponents fall before the might of Briar the Ranger. And you win 200 gold pieces.
Oh,
Well done.
Okay. Well, I'm happy.
I should do this.
Yeah, I'm doing this.
I'm doing this. I want to do this.
Watch it. Both of us just fail